Okay, y'all. Happy day. Take 2. You missed the first one because I deleted it very quickly. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about IPAs. IPAs are income producing activities or actions, okay? And back in the day, we had a little bit of a checklist that every day, like, you could kind of go, okay, I took care of that, I did that, and these things are important. And we kind of got away from that. And here's the moral of the story on that, is there's, some people go, oh my gosh, when I have a checklist and I'm working in limited time, and remember, there were days I only had 15 minutes, I feel like I didn't do everything I was supposed to do because I couldn't get it all checked off. And then people will look at a checklist and they'll go, but I don't have any partners yet, so I can't connect with them. And so I want to tell you that I did work on one, and I ran it past some leaders yesterday, and I'm going to post it, but let me talk about it. The things that you see that people call income producing activities, and they're on the checklist because they're important to do, but they're not income producing. They are funnel building, possibly, meaning getting more people in your network. And so things like adding new friends. I had 400 people on my Facebook when I started. I had 5,000, and I've actually changed to a different because I have 7,000 followers now. And so I can't even have like every distributor and company sending me a friend request anymore. There's no room. You can follow and things like that. So when you make new friends, you have more exposure for the phishing and stuff like that on social media. Inviting friends to the testimony page. Those are great things to do. They're not income producing activities. So if that's all that you're doing, that and making a post on Facebook that is about something random, that is not yielding you results, okay? So those are things to do to build your social media, to build your credibility as somebody that's there consistently, somebody that is showing community, is showing love for company, showing that you celebrate other men and women, whatever it is, okay? So those things are important. They're not income producing. The very best use of inviting to the testimony page is your new people. If you are brand new and you just started, or if you have a brand newbie, they need to go invite everybody, because this is like their launch of what's going on, right? And so I invite people now, but pretty much if I invite them, I tell them I'm inviting them. I don't blind invite, and I invite way less people because I'm more strategic about what I'm inviting you to. I'm either inviting you to Elevate for Business, or I'm inviting you to On My Way for Wellness, okay? And so those are great things to do. They're not income producing activities, especially if you don't connect with them. Birthday, happy birthdays, okay? If you are not connecting and looking, could this person use what I have, then social media is just a hobby for you. And lots of people, they watch TikToks, they watch Reels, they piddle on social media. That's fine. Y'all, I want to spend my quality time with my friends and my family and stuff like that, not on social media. Social media, for me, is part of my business. So when people go, you didn't see my post. No, because I'm not scrolling. I'm interacting and I'm off. Like, I'm not doing that. And so I'm very limited, mostly in Messenger and conversations, okay? And so, but how I do use birthdays, every single day, it gives you a chance to go through who you have on social media. It's either a customer that you're telling happy birthday, beautiful relationship building, and that way at least once a year, which hopefully you are touching them more often than that. If you're not going to keep them. And so once a year, it's like, happy birthday, this is a customer. If they're actively engaged, I'll say, hey, I saw something you did the other day, blah, 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 loved it, whatever. And if they're not, I remember, I haven't really talked to them in a while. And I'll remind myself in 4 to 5 days to circle back when it's not their birthday, okay? They're a partner. So it's somebody that you can love on a little bit, that is actually on your team with an affiliate link. And so those are great things to do, to love on them. Or maybe you go, I feel like this partner's been a little bit quiet too. So in a few days, I'm going to be mindful to go back and work on the relationship part of my business. Or they're a prospect. They're somebody that I would love to be on my team. I know they value health, or they need to repair their health. They are somebody that should know about this. I am going to write that down and remember that, but not on their birthday. I'm going to say happy birthday, and then I'm going to remember that in 4 to 5 days, whatever it is. Or there's somebody that has not been on social media in 4 years. They never look at the birthdays, or there's somebody else's team, and I unfriend them. And the reason why is you haven't seen anything in 4 years. You're taking up the space. of somebody that might want help or might want this beautiful company. So there's no reason for us to be there, right? And if you're somebody else's distributor, back in the day, I didn't know, so I just accepted everything. And after I spoke the first time, I got a cajillion invites, and like that room is like maxed out, so I need to open that up. And you should do the same sort of thing. So if you work your birthdays like that, you're putting people in your funnel and you're building relationships. So it's important. You're not just saying happy birthday. You're using it as, back in the old days, we used to had those, back when things were like DOS based, before all this fancy technology, we had what we called a tickler system. And it was basically some Excel file that told us people on the watch loan list or this or that, or somebody that's loan was almost due. And it gave us regular reminders. Use it as something that this is a reminder, I need to go interact with this person. So then you look at things that are really good income producing activities. They are going live and talking about your life, talking about your products. When you go live, and I had this conversation yesterday with a lady that was here at my house, when you go live and I talk to you right now as my Facebook audience about how good I feel or how much I love this company, how much I love my time freedom, whatever it is, you can understand better the sincerity of which I'm coming from than the written text, okay? So those elevate your algorithm and the connection to you. So it's not that you're going to get a sign up right now. So when I say income producing, but you are getting to your audience in a different way, okay? You always want to think, the way I'm talking, the way I'm speaking, I am speaking to my ideal client, my ideal partner. So if you notice, I talk a lot about inspiration. I talk a lot about success. I talk a lot about faith, friends, and family, especially for middle-aged women from a corporate background or somebody that's out there that's doing the work and getting less than they deserve. That's my target audience because that's who I am, right? And so follow up with prospects. If you haven't done anything yet, you probably don't have any. But if you just started, like my new girl who hit quick start yesterday, she's got about 20 prospects. She's got friends who have not purchased yet. And they may purchase today, and they may purchase in 4 years. It's going to depend on the follow-up and their push comes to shove timing. This is crucial. Connecting with your partners. Talking with your front-line partners. If they're new, you're teaching them. If they're more seasoned, you're collaborating with them. But you don't go forever and not ever communicate with your people. The same stands for you. Reach up to your people as well. Don't always think that somebody's just going to reach to you. And like somebody said earlier, I reached out to a girl, and she's probably on my 5th or 6th level, and she's asked for some advice, and I gave her some. My question back was, what have you done with this? I didn't spend the time on the phone with you for 30 minutes to teach you for you not to execute. And what she said when I checked on her today, she said, I appreciate somebody reaching out to me. She said, I reach out to people all the time and encourage them. Y'all, we've got to be mindful, be good stewards of our team, okay? Checking on a new start to see where they're at, making sure that they feel equipped on their 8 days, making sure they're ready to share their 8-day results, making sure that they see the community in tiny pants, and making sure that you're turning around and helping them get their products paid for. Those are crucial, okay? That is income because we're going to either keep them or we're going to develop them or you're going to lose them, okay? So this is crucial information. Connection calls. If you are not connecting people to other people on the team and they know who we are, they're hearing the stories, they feel like they're a part of it, dead in the water. Dead in the water. It is that important and it's not happening. So it's very, very important. Somebody actually asked me yesterday, they said, you do connection calls? And I said, more than y'all do. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I have 10 unique accounts. Yeah. I do them all every day. And they're like, oh, wow, but you know everything to say. It's not about me. It's about them being plugged in and connected. And when people are connected and they're plugged in to something that feels good, they can live their best life. So that has nothing to do with me. They need to hear and see other stories. And then also remember that person on the phone is an advocate for you that tells that new person, do what she says. She knows what she's talking about. This team's the best thing I've ever seen. All this kind of stuff. So you're missing out. If you're not doing connections, it is literally killing your business. Business reach outs. If you don't tell people you have a business, you don't have a business. 2 by 2 by 2. I love what Deanna said on the Super Saturday. If you're doing 2 by 2 by 2, and what 2 by 2 means is I am asking 2 people a day to look at this as a partner. A little bit or a lot. Maybe they're not on products at all. Maybe they're a product user. Maybe they're somebody that kind of sort of started 2 years ago, but they didn't know what to do and you didn't know what to do. But you're talking to 2 people about joining you. You're following up with 2 people a day. And every week you try to get eye to eye with 2 people. If you are doing that, you will grow. And those are business reach outs. Those are not saying, hey, will you try my Zing? You can fall back on that, which is the glorious thing about telling people to join this. And then the ATM process. The ATM, if you remember that, is asking somebody to take a look at this. Fits right in. It is inviting them to elevate so that they can see the income opportunity. If they say that's not necessarily for them, then we go to On My Way. And then it is dropping them in a chat with a couple of people to share their stories and love on them and go, oh my gosh, this is my experience with this. Love it. Barbara's a rock star, whatever it is. And then let me circle back to connections real quick because somebody asked me this yesterday. So that's why I'm doing a little bit of an explanation video on income producing. And these are not all the things as far as that goes. And I want to talk about when, where, how. You may hear the word connection. You may hear the word inspiration. You hear them done with somebody that's looking at upgrading, somebody you want to upgrade, somebody that you're talking to, that you want them to join your team. It may be somebody that's on day 9 that's having great success, but it is a time when you take your prospect, your customer, or your new partner, whatever it is, and you connect and inspire them through other people in the company. Okay, so that's what that means, and they're used at different times. More is better. They shouldn't be long and lengthy. Nobody wants to do that. It's to get them excited, to have them loved on a little bit, and have them to meet some people to say, best thing I've ever seen since sliced bread. Anyway, and by the way, if you eat sliced bread all the time, you are poisoning your system. That's why we have a gut issue in America. So you can't eat all the carbs. Just going to go ahead and say that. Anyway, so then let's talk about this. So if you're watching this and you're brand new and you're working on your quick start, and you're like, basically at that point in time, you're doing what your sponsor tells you to. You don't worry about this. Now, if you're somebody that goes, I'm visual, I want to go faster, I want to learn more, then grab it and say, I've got some questions about this, right? But if you're rocking, rolling along and say you hit manager, maybe you've got somebody that's a partner already, you kind of got the gist of it, then you're going, okay, I know I need to become consistent in what I do. But if you're new, exit stage left and don't worry about this at all. You're still doing exactly what your sponsor says. You're reaching out to people, you're doing the follow-ups, and then you're making sure that they have a great first start and an opportunity to upgrade. You're doing those very, very foundational things. And if you're not picking up the phone to call them or messaging them direct, you're fishing on Facebook, which is making a long time before you get customers. You got to be consistent with that. But if you're new, disregard for right now, okay? And then the last thing, I was going to say something else. My mind just, timing. Okay. So when I first started, there were days I truly only had 15 minutes to do this. But I never missed a day. Ever. No matter how busy I was. I made sure I fit some time in, even if it was very little. So if you have very little time in that day, because that day is going to be one that's just a little less available on time with end-of-school things and maybe a graduation, whatever. You got to prioritize that 15 minutes, maybe it's 30, whatever it is. You start with the biggest bang for buck action. So in that 15 minutes, if all you do is tell 4 people happy birthday, instead of reaching out and saying, hey, Mark, I sent you that information on Tuesday. We got graduation tonight. Super excited. Have you had a chance to look at that? What questions do you have? And if they're in a chat with somebody, I know I have graduation, but remember, that's what Debbie's here for. That's what Debbie's here for. It may be a question I can't even answer, Mark, because remember, I'm just like loving this stuff. I don't even know. Do that instead of posting a quote on Facebook. Okay? Use your time wisely. And if when you sit down to do income producing activities or work, you are going, I bought a new calendar. I just bought a calendar. Great example. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fill out this. Ooh, I like this page. My ideal daytime routine. I'm going to fill that page out. Plan to bloom. I'm going to fill out this. And, this doesn't start till July. I'm going to use 3 different highlighters on this, I think. And that's what I do with my 15 minutes today. You'll never do anything. You'll never grow. You will never grow because literally you're coloring when you could be connecting and building relationships. And I hope that y'all always hear my advice graciously because it's for the good of your growth, and I got the business to prove it. So please always, when you go, oh, I do that. It's kind of like being at the church. If your toes kind of curl up when somebody says something, just go, I hear that word. I'm going to go and do something with that because it struck me that I need to make a move on that, right? So just always remember that I love you dearly, and I want nothing more than by the end of the year, every one of y'all be platinum executives or ambassadors. Now, we're not probably going to get there by the end of the year, you know what I mean? But that's my goal. You got to match my effort, okay? All right, got to go. Ciao, y'all. And I will drop and post this both in the comments, and then I will also make a separate post with see my video.